Hey everybody, and welcome to an all new video with Matt. Today I'm going to show you how I made this prop electric chair for Halloween coming up. So stick around, I'm going to show you how I did it. Alright guys, so this video is going to be a little different. Usually I have a cut sheet provided at the beginning so you guys can follow along. But seeing how as I am just designing this as I go with some scrap wood that I have, we are just going to have to go by it as we get to it, right? So the first thing I want you guys to do is take two 2x4s just like that right there, and you want to cut those at 5 foot. Right, that's going to be the back of your chair. And then I had some little slat boards for some pallets that I have lying around, guys. I went ahead and cut out 4 slat boards at 32 inches. Don't know if we're exactly going to use all of those yet or not, but we will definitely use them for the back side right there. Right, so the next piece that we got is going to be the base piece so that it keeps it nice and sturdy in the back right here. What I used is just a simple 1x4 board right there, guys. As you can see, we're going to cut that also at 32 inches. And then let's drop down right here to this little pile. This is going to be your front legs right here, guys. So you're going to cut out two 2x4s at 32 inches. And then you're going to cut out another 1x4 board at 32 inches also. So now that you've got all of that right there for the front and the back, let's just go ahead and attach everything. And what I want you to do on both your 2x4 boards for your front legs and your these will be your front legs, these will be your back legs right here, guys. I want you to take your tape measure. I want you to measure down and mark 2 inches right here on the board, and that'll tell you to line that board up right there just like that. When you go to screw that into place, do the same thing on the other side over here, mark it at 2 inches. That way it'll just help you line it up and it's not completely flush with the ground. That way you can pick it up easier for moving it around. And also, guys, what I want you to do is go ahead and take your tape measure and measure 2 inches up here at the top. And make sure you put your better looking slat side. Like on pallets, there's this rough, ugly side, and then you got the kind of better looking side right there. And you just want to line your pallets up on that one mark right there, just one of your slats, and go ahead and nail that across on both sides at 2 inches also. Then what I want you to do with your 2 front legs right here is you're going to mark those also at 2 inches on both of them, and you're going to line up your other board and go ahead and get that attached. So I'm going to go ahead and get these two, the front part and the back part. I'm going to go ahead and get all of that attached, and then we'll go on to some more boards we're going to need. Alright guys, so after screwing up all those pieces right here, this is what you should have. This should be your front piece right here, right? And this should be your back piece, just like that. So now what we're going to be ready to do is cut a few more boards out real quick. Alright guys, so next you need to measure the distance in between both of your pieces, and they should be the exact same. And if you're going by my measurements in this video, guys, you should have exactly 29 inches between here and here, and the same exact distance on your back piece right there. So what you want to do now is go ahead and cut two 2x4s at 29 inches. And what we're going to do is we're going to place them into the very front, because on your smaller front piece right here, this right here will be represented to hold like the leg shackles right here, guys. So you gotta imagine you're going to put your board on this side, the same side as this piece right here is where you're going to put it, but you're going to put it in between your 2 boards right here, guys. So let's go ahead and get those 2 pieces cut out, and we'll go ahead and get those screwed into place next on both of our pieces. Alright, so when you go to put your board in, your 29-inch piece board, guys, you want to make sure that the top of your board is lined up with that line right there. So you want to make sure you come in, get it lined up nice and smooth. Use clamps if you need to, just like that right there, and you'll go ahead and screw that one into place, and the same with the other sides of it, guys. So go ahead and get those screwed into place now. Alright guys, so now you've got your two front braces for the seat right there mounted on just like this right here. As you can see how we did that, and the one for the back opposite towards the back side. So what we're going to do now is we need to cut out our piece to go between right here, guys. So what you should have is 20 inches, and that'll go perfect with our 23-inch cedar boards that we're going to use. Let me flip it around. I got some old cedar boards. These are the tongue and groove style, and when you measure it from flat end to the flat end, not to the groove right here, it's 23 inches. 4 boards is plenty right there, guys. So what I'm going to do next is go ahead and cut out 2 2x4s at 20 inches and go ahead and get them mounted and flushed right here, and then we will have pretty much the main frame, and then we can work on getting our little slat boards put on for the chair part. So let's go ahead and get our 2 boards cut at 20 and go ahead and get those installed now. Alright guys, so once you've got your 2 middle pieces put on to both sides, this is what you pretty much have right here. You can see it starting to take shape. So now what I want to do is go ahead and get my armrest put on by simply just measuring from the back to the front, and if it's the same as this right here, that should be 23 inches also. So go ahead and cut you out 2 2x4s at 23 inches. Alright guys, so to do the arms, pay attention right here, guys. What you want to do is you want to measure the width of your 2x4. In my case right here, this one is 3.5 inches by 1.5 inches wide, right? So what I want to do, guys, is I want to take one of my arm pieces, right? And what I want to do is come and measure down 3.5 inches, just like that right there. And I'm going to throw a mark right here and go ahead and use my speed square to pop that straight line. And then what I want to do is come from this side and I'll mark it at 1.5 inches, guys. And that's going to allow us to do is so that it'll be nice and flat flush here, but this part right here will be cut out, and it'll be able to slide in place, and we'll be able to screw it in from the side and on the tops right here, guys. So like I said, go ahead and pull down 3.5, make your mark by 1.5 and cut that section out. That way you can slide it into place and lay it flat on the top right here in the front. You'll do that with both sides, so go ahead and get that done now. Alright guys, so real quick, while you're going ahead and making your 2 armrest cuts right there, you need to take your tape measure, and from the back of both sides here and over there, you want to pull your tape up and you want to mark it at 32 inches on the inside and outside of both your boards right here, guys. That is going to help line that up with your front boards right here. That's also 32 inches. So go ahead, measure from the bottom of each board, go up, mark them at 32 inches with your speed square on both sides, and that's just going to help you be able to line your armrest boards up nice and straight. Alright guys, so I got my arms screwed into place, and you can see how I did that. I used 2 countersink holes right here on this part side right here to screw directly into the top of this, and then I put 2 countersink holes over here in the sides, lined them up with my lines that I marked, and went ahead and shot screws into both of them right here. And a quick little view of how I did my arms right here, guys, is basically you're just cutting out the spot of a 2x4 right here. As you can see, you cut that out on both sides just like that. So now we've got our arms put on, guys. So now I'm going to focus on getting the base part, the part that you sit down on with the little cedar boards that I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and get working on that now. Alright guys, so for this next step of putting in our slats for our seat part right here, you got 2 options basically. You could have just cut your boards to fit between these 2 and just laid them flat and stacked them up nice and easy, but I don't always like nice and easy. I want it to have that little cool cut in look right there, guys. So you can kind of stick your board up, you can tell that it's going to be the width and length of a 2x4, right? So no biggie, just take you a little 2x4 little scrap piece right here. You're going to take one side of your board and you're going to line it up nice and good, just like that right there. And just trace that out, guys, as that's all you got to do, really, is just get it nice and tight. lined up nice and straight, just like that, and trace that out just like that, and that'll tell you what you need to cut out for that side right there, guys. And I just recommend using a little jigsaw right there and just cut that out both ways, just like that. And you will do the exact same thing for the other side, and then we'll put in 2 straight no cut pieces, and then our 4th piece is going to be just like this, but it's going to be reversed like that right there, so that it can slide in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my 2 boards marked and cut just like this right here, and then I'm going to go and put down the rest of the boards. Alright guys, so it might be a little hard to see this because the sun's beaming directly in my little work area right here, but I've got all of my slats put on now. Everything is nice and flush, looks good. I've already sat on it a few times. It feels nice and comfortable. So what we want to do next now, guys, is you basically want to go ahead and get your remaining back slats put on. You want to go about 4 inches off of the bottom on both sides right here. Put your slat lined up with the bottom of your board lined up at the 4-inch mark, and then what you want to do is measure the distance between your top slat and your bottom slat, and you just want to kind of make that mark in the middle right there, so you got your middle slat. So go ahead and get those slats on. And then what I did is I had a larger piece of wood right here, been saving for something. It's roughly like 14 inches by a 1/2 inch. So what I did was I just measured from the bottom part right here of the base up to the top of that slat, not all the way to the top of the sides like there, like you can see. I cut that piece out, did me some countersink holes on the sides right here, and screwed that into place. So chair now is pretty much built all the way, except for adding in, of course, like the little headpiece gear and all that stuff. So we're going to start doing that stuff now. Alright guys, so I got my little headgear piece right here mounted the way I wanted. What I did was basically take the old P-trap out of an old rundown sink right here, guys. I've laced this little old heat lamp right here. It doesn't work anymore. Snipped the plug off, fed the wire up through it, just like that. Come around to the back, you can see that I just put some screws to hold this tight in place and ran the wire through it. And then down over here on the side, I put a little eye hook right here, guys. That way you can tie it off to the length you need it. In case you're a little bit of a shorter person, you'll be able to pull that down to where it fits you. Say if you're like a younger kid or something like that, you can lower it down and then use the little hook right here, tie that off into place just like that, as you can see. And that'll hold that in place so it won't move around or come down on you just like that. Or if you're tall like me, you can adjust it real quick by simply taking your little knot out and just pulling it up to where it fits your height basically, and then tie it off again the same way. All right, so that is how I did the little headpiece part right there, guys. Alright guys, so here is the strobe light set up on the chair at nighttime, flashing on it so you guys can get an idea of what that will look like right there. Alright guys, so now you've seen what it looks like at nighttime with the strobe flashing on it and someone sitting in it. And then the next day here, early morning, I decided to add these little straps right here on the arms to make it look like arm restraints. Make it a little closer so you guys can see. But right there, I just went to the thrift store right up the street, found a brown belt for just $2. It basically just cut the end off of one side and cut all the whole parts off of one side. Folded the belt in half, cut it right down the middle. That was my 2 straps. I'm going to show you what I did here. Is I basically just took some screws and washers like that. Put one side over, screwed it down first, looped it around, and came and screwed it down with another washer just like that, guys, on both sides. So it gives you plenty of room in case you got a super large hand or something. All you need to do is just go flat like that, and bam, there you go right there. So, and real quick, here is what it looks like without any porch lights on or lights from my camera flashing on it, guys. So you can see that, you can see the strobe a little better. It does look like electricity is just zapping all around right there. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it out there. Be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe. Happy Halloween, everyone.